You know what's crazy? So I pretty much just watched this movie called They Clone Tyrone on Netflix, and basically it was interesting to see how like the a modern take on like black exploitation film. I thought it was kind of dope, but I will say I was a little confused because it was kind of like, what time frame were we in? Yeah, before I get ahead of myself, the movie They Call Him Tyrone. It's on Netflix. It's directed by Joel Taylor. It stars John Boyega. It also has Tiana Paris and Jamie Foxx. And again, I thought the movie was kind of like dope. I liked it. I don't have a issue with it. I was just a little confused in some aspects of it. More so to the degree of like, I'm not even going to say that I was confused. It was just kind of like I understood the what can you say? I understood the conspiracy theory that was going throughout the film. So let's just say I understood the message wholeheartedly. But what I can say where I was confused was sort of like, what time frame were we in? Because like looking at it visually, it was kind of like grainy. To the aspect of like, oh yeah, like okay, like this is the 80s, and then like the way the soundtrack was playing at the beginning of the film, it was a lot of 80s music, maybe early 90s, but I know for sure it was 80s. And then seeing like the car that they were driving, the clothes they were wearing, it felt like very 70s and 80s. But then like there were references in the film where Jamie Foxx character, he calls one of the guys beige like Obama, and like one of his prostitutes, she wasn't Michelle, and it was funny. I thought it was, like I said, the whole movie was great in regards of its comedic relief and its sci-fi. My bad. It's sci-fi realm of things. Again, would it be a film that I recommend to somebody? I don't know. I'm never going to knock a film in that aspect because I haven't created one myself. Yes, I do work in the film industry, but at the same time, I don't know what all it takes to make one. So I'm not going to knock Joel in that aspect because I believe he wrote it as well. But what I will say is, John Boyega as an actor is dope. To see him portray multiple different characters within this film was kind of like awesome to see him like all in one, and his acting chops is like really, really dope in that aspect. Tiana, she's phenomenal. I'll never forget seeing her the first time was in Dear White People, the movie, not the series. Even though the series was good, but like her acting in the movie was dope. Probably need to stop saying dope too, but regardless of that, we actually need to talk about Jamie Foxx's like acting like role. Like, bro, really, like seriously. Yes, I knew that was Jamie Foxx, but like him playing the pimp, and the pimp sort of being like a smart ass, but like at the same time kind of like scary, but like willing to do something, but then like still hesitant about doing and like pulling those type of triggers and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like, yo, like the way Jamie embodied that character, like I don't think we talk about his acting enough, and because you can sit there and think about like, yeah, he had his own show, but then like when you think about him in Booty Call, or you think about him in Ray, or you think about him in Collateral, or you think about his role in Horrible Bosses, it's kind of like none of his characters have all been the same, but I don't think that he gets the credit as an actor as much as he should. So for that, I want to give him his flowers. Jamie, if this ever crosses, your desk, I hope to meet you and be able to give this to you and, you know, tell you myself. But for now, like, you deserve it more than I think you get credit for. I know you got a lot when you came out with Ray, but I don't think you, I don't know, I feel like you deserve more than what you got with Ray, just with Ray. Anywho, as I say all this to say, there was one thing I noticed within the film, that like a lot of the stuff that was supposed to sort of being like the brainwashing and everything, I noticed that everything was purple. And if anybody can sort of help me figure why it was purple, like, that would be amazing. But I did notice from like the packaging, from the hair care products, and I believe even like in the food, like when they got the chicken when they were in the restaurant, like, I thought, like, it was like, okay, I think that was purple. I know when they went to church, if you look at the Jesus, like, if you look at the picture of Jesus, like, the surrounding of him is purple, and then I believe the pastor was wearing like a purple vest. Even the lights where the clones were, that was purple. And even in like the strip club, it would have like the pink and purple lights. And like, but if you also pay attention specifically, the DJ, when they show the DJ and he gets the phone call about, like, you know, changing the music for the audience to sort of like, sorry, for the audience to sort of like get brainwashed, like, he's in purple lighting. So I really want to know, like, what was the reasoning behind that? I don't know. But like the brainwashing behind it, again, I say all this to say, like, I understood the parallels of the conspiracy theories within the messaging of this film. I'm not here to talk about that, but I understand it. But I thought it was hilarious on how the cultural references of how, like, the world could be ending, but yet as a black person and as black people, like, we still find humor within it. And I don't know, like, I thought that was funny, just like how they were just joking in the at the chicken restaurant, just like eating the chicken but laughing about the experiences that was going on. I thought that was dope. I will also say how this film and the way it bended through genres was amazing, because like you could say it's a comedy and some people may say it's a sci-fi, but then like it plays out like a thriller, because I kid you not, like that whole sort of like scene, or pretty like this, like the first 15 minutes of the movie and what happens in it, like, yeah, a little mind blown. And like the whole time I'm sitting there like, yo, like, what the hell is getting ready to happen, and how is this getting ready to get explained? But like, I think the film did well at sort of explaining what happens, as well as, again, the conspiracy theories behind it. I'm not here to do the conspiracy theories. I'm interested in conspiracy theories. If you guys want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to in the comments. I love conspiracy theories. It's just I'm not here to talk about those. I love like learning about them, but I'm not one of those people that go deep dive into them. And so yeah, I would like to see where this film goes within like the next 6 months to a year. I've seen some things where they're kind of like, oh, it's an instant classic. Again, I don't know. I know we watch films differently than the way we used to back in the day. But I can say for me right now, I would say I probably would give it an 8 out of 10. I personally just feel like the conspiracy theories behind it sort of, I don't want to say overshadowed, but sort of I don't know. I don't even know the word how I want to word that. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm not in Joel's head. I would love to talk to Joel, and get a little bit more understanding. Joel, if we ever meet one day and you know, like, if you want to explain that a little bit more, cool. That would be amazing. I would love to pick your brain, and where you were going with it. I kind of can see the comparison to they're alive. I believe that's the film, with the robots and all that. I'm not really sure if that's where you were going with it. I could be wrong, but I do think that that's where you were going with it. But that I saw those comparisons watching the film. I don't know if it was homage to that, but I did see, like, maybe that could have been inspiring. And again, that conspiracy theories are not something I want to touch. But in regards of the art form of film, I think it was a great movie. Again, I don't know if I would recommend it. It wouldn't be like, oh yeah, hey, you need to go watch this, right now, tomorrow. Like, if you see it, cool. I think you'll like it. But far as like, oh my God, like this is the best thing ever, and you need to go watch that, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. But it is a good movie. Please, 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 please understand it is a good movie. But if like somebody asked, hey, have you seen this? It would be like, yeah, like, I've seen it and it's good. You should watch it. But I wouldn't go out my way and be like, yeah, like, hey, you need to go do this. You need to go do that. Like some movies and TV shows have made me do that. But like Succession would be a show like I would be like, hey, everybody needs to watch that. If you don't like it, that's on you. But like, that's one of the greats. But yeah, outside of that, I think it was pretty good. Wholeheartedly. I don't really have much to say. I just, I have my questions, which I think that's what art's supposed to do. So like, I want to preference everything that I'm saying to the degree of like, the film, I believe, was supposed to have this like topic of conversation, supposed to be this topic of conversation within the messaging of the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Again, I would love to, but at the same time, I only know, like, for me, I don't really converse on conspiracy theories because I don't know what's real and what's not. So who's to say that it's real, it's not? I don't know. Are they cloning people? I don't know. Are mind controlling people over the airways? I don't know. So I try not to speak on things that I don't know. But what I will say is I love learning about it. So Joel, if you have something that like I don't know about or you would love to have a conversation with, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. I'm always open for dialogue in that aspect. And I would love to hear what everybody else thinks about this film. Again, it's a good movie. Not going to sit here and say that it's not. I thought it was dope. It was just, I have a lot of questions in how it felt like blending eras of like the 70s with the 70s clothing, the 80s vibe, and then like the early 2000s, because it's like, oh yeah, they have flip phones and razors and stuff like that. So like, I would just love to know where the creative aspect of like where that sort of played into, and maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a message behind that too, because I'm sure there was a lot of details and Easter eggs in this film. But like I said, the one I picked up was the fact that everything was packaged in purple. There was always purple associated with the mind control. So again, I would love to know what else you guys think, and maybe again, if this comes across Joel, and or even the actors, like, would love to hear what everybody else's, takes on this would be. And again, I would love to be informed. So that's my take on it. Again, I think it was a great film. I have questions, and I don't know if I feel good about having questions, because it's like I'm the type that, hey, I need answers, and I didn't really want to go looking for answers before I did this review, because I didn't feel like it would be authentic, because then it's like, oh well, yeah, because I know this, and I didn't want to do that. I just feel like as I'm doing my analysis, aka review on the film right now, I think like I wanted to give this kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I watched it and this is what I took from it, but then this is where I'm left sort of still, I have questions still unanswered. So I hope that's not a negative light, but I don't know if that's a good or bad thing within films. I don't know. Again, art is subjective, so I like the film. It's just I have a lot of questions that need to be answered. So yeah, please, if you guys know anything that I didn't discuss on here, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, and yeah, thanks.